Welcome into another episode of the podcast trips. I've been buzzing for this one, mainly because I'm probably going to talk for like 5 minutes during this, which is fucking super exciting. Because Graeme is someone that is not only full of patter, but he recently done some comedy gigs by the sounds of things as well.
Yes,
when he was on the up. And when I say this man's full of patter, you're going to feel it over the next like hour and a half without a shadow of a doubt. He's someone that is incredibly energetic, but the kind of charisma that he carries, it's infectious. And the businesses he's built, he's built one to an incredible standard. He's now in the process of helping build another. And he's someone that, I take a lot of inspiration from as well, because he's very close with Nick, who's someone that obviously I've had in the podcast a couple of times, worked very closely with. And Graeme basically runs the Kitchen Depot, which is obviously a kitchen company. And he's now in a kind of like joint venture with Nick when it comes to We Scale Trades as a marketing agency. So thank you for coming on, bro.
Great welcome.
You're not expecting that?
That's me just going to stop talking now because you said that you're only going to talk for 5 minutes. So put on the spot, keep talking. No,
yeah.
That was a great intro. Great, thank you.
No stress at all, bro. When it comes to
charismatic, you said as well.
Charismatic, mate. I could, put compliments all day long for you, bro.
Aye.
I've got a lot to say, mate, even though you think that I'm just trying to sell you all the time. So I'm just going to...
It's all right, get the hook in.
Keep that to myself. But in terms of where your journey starts, mate, was, from my understanding, personal training side of things, but was there businesses before that? Like, where were kind of...
Yes, so... how can I start off with telling you what did I do? Left school, didn't know have a clue what I was going to do. Done a social sciences HND, done it for a year, never stuck to it. Fell into, I always liked fitness, so I ended up doing a health, fitness and exercise HND.
Yep.
Got a job in a gym, and I was always kind of involved with the sales side of stuff in the gyms, getting referrals for the sales guys, and I fell into gym sales eventually when I worked in the health clubs. That was my sort of first job, if you want a proper job in gyms. And then I done a bit of a mixture, done personal training, but sort of sales I learnt a lot of sales skills actually in gyms, believe it or not.
That's class, man.
Which, when I look back now, it's funny because a lot of people say, where did you learn all your sales stuff?
Mm.
Over the years, I've done different things, mentorships and training days, whatever. But actually working in a health club was the first time I was exposed to actually true selling.
Yeah,
which I found was bonkers because I wanted to, when I was a personal trainer in the gym, I wanted to do sales because they look cool as fuck.
Mm.
It was like, these guys are. Can you swear on this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool as fuck. By the way. So it looked cool. It's just like, and at the time, I wasn't actually a personal trainer, a gym instructor, so I wasn't even properly qualified at the time. And that you're on a set wage.
Mm.
The sales guys were talking to all the members. They were in the pool, going next to the pool and the sauna, and they were making good money.
Mm.
So I'm thinking, I'll have some of that. But anyway, long story short, applied for the job, got the job, and I'm thinking I'm starting the next day.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're going to go on a week's training course. You got to read this big Bible of a book. I'm going to do training with you for a week before you can start. I'm thinking, mate, it's a £35 a month gym membership. Just get me in.
Yeah.
But what we got exposed to was like role play, objection handling, how to close, different ways to close a sale, how to build true rapport, what to do, like how to tour a client properly based on their needs.
Mm.
At the time, I was just consuming all the information. But then when I look back now, I think, wow, that's set me up. Like, naturally, I was always quite good with people, like good communicators and understanding people. So I was naturally quite good at sales. But I look back now, if I look back 15 years ago, I learned that stuff. That's the stuff that people don't probably get taught now. Yeah. Or maybe not as much as they probably should.
100%. Where did they get the big fucking like Bible from?
I don't know. It was called LA Fitness. It was a health club. And they just had the guy who was a sales director, a guy called Peter Harrington. He came from Fitness First. And Fitness First was renowned for high volume, high numbers, sell. It was all sales guys that worked for them. It was almost like your window salesman of the fitness industry at the time.
Mm.
And he came to LA Fitness and just basically was like, right, this sales process has to be streamlined and we need to basically get guys selling. Because I remember we done the first month, I done top sales, brilliant, went to a training event and they pulled everybody up from the region. So there's maybe 100 people in this region, salespeople. Done this training event and they're like, right, let's choose 4 of you up to the front. let's do some role playing objection handling in front of everyone. I was like, okay. So I'm sitting up the front. There's maybe, I've seen 100. It looked like 100, maybe 50 or 60, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sitting up the front. He's like, right, okay, you're trying to sell this to them. How would you do it? On you go. And I'm trying to pitch this gym membership in front of 60 people. And he's putting you under the pressure to do it. And he's like, stop. Before you try and close it, what should you say? What should you do? Remember, be silent in this point. And he was just going through different closing techniques. But you're sitting in front of fucking all these people. And you're like, but it almost like squeezed you into being good.
Yeah.
Well, it felt like that for me because that's how it worked.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. So, but I don't know where it came from. I think it came solely from him. And when you think about it now, especially the fitness industry is probably not like that anywhere now, is it? Maybe David Lloyd may have some salespeople, but it's not like sell. Back then it was sell.
Why did the industry change as time went on? Do you know?
Don't know. I just think the gym group and Pure Gym took over. It was more about low ticket memberships, loads of kit, and then service suffered. We used to have an early fitness. It used to be service based, and that was like now it still needs it, I think. So we used to have, I would sign you up as a gym member. You'd get a call from a personal trainer or gym instructor, and there'll be retention tools for you to plug into programs. Kind of what you do with maybe coaching an idea, making sure the clients go to so many classes, make sure they attend a quarterly, maybe motivation, nutrition event, and that would retain members. But what happened is they focused too much on the top end sales, didn't have enough staff to support them, well, in my own view. So you've got all these people looking to improve, but they kind of get lost.
Yeah.
And then the gym group and Pure Gym took over, which is still going the route. They just took over the market. They're just going high volume, low ticket, and it's personal trainers who then try and sell personal training there. But there's not actually gym instructors. If you don't buy a personal training session, you join a gym, you pay £20 a month, and you float about the gym, and you just decide what you're going to do. You maybe, which works for a business point of view. But then the health club side of things, so like Nuffield, Greens, maybe Barrentines, these are ones that had to maybe probably fight actually to go there. Probably fight to get the membership base back. David Lloyd, I've broke through that, I think. I don't know, I'm just maybe think what my thoughts so far.
That's well, I mean, the thing is, mate, like you were in the industry, so like seeing the change in trajectory, because that's something I'm finding like super interesting just now in terms of like, I mean, I'm 6 years into business now and seeing all the different trends, the different businesses coming and going, the different kind of little like exciting moments. Even when I'm thinking back to like when Hormozi's first book came on the scene, for example, $100 million offers, and then when he launched $100 million leads, that little craze of like 2 months where it was just like anticipation for this like big kind of like webinar that then pumped out a shit ton of like basically ways to generate leads, and you've seen a massive increase in like outbound outreach, automations, etc. And even just seeing that as a trend as well, it's like super interesting. So when I'm asking you, it's almost like from your perspective what the trend has actually looked like, which it sounds like.
Well, it went from probably businesses probably suffered because they didn't hire enough people to support the members, and then they have loads of members not getting to their goals, which then results in poor retention, which means they cancel. And then they look for cheaper options. And then, what was that gym called? The yellow and black one?
Exercise for Less.
Exercise for Less, Pure Gym, the gym group. These guys came in, dominated the market. But then now I would think people need service.
Yeah.
They need someone. Everything's too robotic now. It's too transactional. You pay 20 quid to get a gym. It's great. Loads of kit. But what do you do next?
Yeah.
I'll go and download this YouTube thing. Obviously, everybody's exposed to too much information, so it's just too confusing.
Yeah.
And now you're looking for, even like the grade of personal trainers now, it's fucking hell, it's died on its ass, man. Personal trainers can't even dress like personal trainers anymore.
Yeah.
You go into a gym and they're wearing like grey cotton joggies, Nike Bust Night shoes, and they've got a Costa coffee in their hand walking about the gym. And they're wondering why they don't have any clients. I'm like, mate, look like a personal trainer, man. Grade 1. Look like somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like sales. Look like a salesperson, or look like somebody that's respectable enough to sell you something.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking hell. I think the world's going a bit mad, to be honest.
Yeah. I think with the personal training side of things, it's so easy for them to get qualifications. I think that's what's then like the
Well, that's but the tail end of me being in the gyms. I was working my body core, what's it called? Tobias and these guys to help try and educate on that kind of things like sales, business, just what you need as a person getting the qualifications, just getting started. But learning how to look after people, market yourself, get referrals, like long-term stuff is obviously where you need for longevity sort of thing.
So how long were you in the kind of like fitness industry for then?
On and off, probably about 12 years. So I started off doing the gym stuff. To be honest, I've been a wee bit sporadic. I've probably spent a lot of time trying to figure out who I am. Almost, because I worked in gyms, I love gyms, right? I love energy and getting people to the next level. Training, I love training myself. Always found from working the gym days, any sales job I've ever done, I've just been, without blowing my own trumpet, I've been the best at. I've always won the top sales, so I've done sales throughout the gym. Became the sales manager, then went to be a deputy manager of a different gym. Then I got offered something to run a call centre separately, but then I kept then I started boot camps on the side. So I was always like dipping my hand in. So I had boot camp business as well as run a call centre at the same time. Then I've probably started about 12 different separate fitness businesses that have failed.
Actually, you met Jack Carlin before, yeah?
Jack?
Yeah. We done a part in his podcast episode, which is called like the Business Graveyard, where we ran through all the businesses that he's started that have died, and it was fucking brilliant. Like he talked about his fucking DJing business and all sorts.
Mate, I started off when I worked in the gym, my first gym, we done Butlers in the Buff. It was called Butlers Uncovered. So we had naked butlers we'd hire out to do ladies' nights. But these things, see in hindsight, I'm 40 now, all I'd done was think of an idea, because I'm an ideas man, and sell it, because I'm a salesperson. Boom. And it works for a month. So all you're doing is like, this is amazing, bring that in, get him in, get that guy his fucking pants off, give him an apron, we'll charge him out of 50 quid an hour. And it worked. Yes. But then obviously next month, when you don't have any systems, don't have any fucking plan, it just goes like that. I started an online fitness business in 2015. See if I knew what I knew now. Mate, I'd be a millionaire 10 times over.
Yeah.
Mate, I was like ahead of the trends, man. We had a website, we had websites built, we had online things online classes that people could plug into. We had loads of stuff.
Yeah. But
again, it was all ideas, no systems, didn't even know what compliance was, didn't even know the word compliance probably, didn't even know the word. Well, I did, but I just was like, nah, fuck that shit. And my ego, to be honest, at the time, I had a big ego back then, thinking that I can do everything myself. That's what stopped me. I know that for a fact now. That's like what stopped me getting anywhere. Because I was always about me, my idea, make it about me, kind of thing.
So that'd been like a big opportunity. Like take us to the point where, like obviously it started, was doing really well, had upwards trajectory. Like what actually started to go wrong with it being such a good idea and being so ahead of the curve? Because that's when PG started. Phil Graeme started online coaching. Remember that?
Well, actually, it's funny because see in 2000, was it either 2014 or 2015, I messaged Joe Wicks, right? He just started doing stuff on Instagram. Yeah. He had 100,000 followers, and I thought, that guy's pretty cool. Yeah. He could maybe partner up with us, because I've got this, it was called Project X Online Gym at the time. So I messaged them. I was like, mate, I'm starting something cool here. You're also starting to be quite relevant. Yeah. Let's team up. Obviously patch me, right? But and look at him now and look at me. But so got everything built, and well, the part of the reason was I was into business with someone else, and there was quite a bit that went wrong because of it was there was quite a bit of fraudulent activity going on, probably is the only thing I could tell you. Basically, the person I was in business with was taking money out of the business, the money I was putting in, and it failed. So I restarted something else very similar. But again, that failed as well, because I started doing it, selling memberships on it, built the framework, like the ideas, but didn't really have a system for the clients to plug into other than my energy and the visuals of this being amazing. And there wasn't like a customer journey mapped out. You know, when a customer signs up, what's next? It was about me delivering all this. It was all just about me. The name, I had built something called My Online PT. And I thought, that could be a big brand.
Yeah.
But this never followed it through properly. Never got like a integrator or somebody that can take the weight off of me. Yeah, sort of thing.
So it's almost like you'd have an idea, you would then sell the shit out of it, but you would have like no delivery process in the back end, no systems. I can imagine that as well being like, I mean, what was the like customers' responses like once they got inside? Like, was it relatively negative or
not really good, because it was at the start, because it was all about me and what energy I would give them, and we can do this and we can take you here, but it was just me running about like headless chicken, trying to keep on top of it. Yep. I eventually fizzled out. I tried to bring people in to help me, but I think I don't know if maybe my attitude towards it wasn't the best in terms of like what I would want them to do. I thought because I used to manage a gym at one point, I was a sales manager, managing numbers, but when I then started bringing in people to help me, I didn't know if I'd done it too well.
If those individuals that you brought in, if they were here just now, what do you think they would have said about the experience working with yourself?
Nightmare, to be honest. Probably, too all over the place, too many different ideas. All of that probably. I think so.
When did you like come to recognise that was maybe like a problem or a challenge? Like, how many businesses did you go for?
Oh mate, fucking, well, that was like two of the bigger ones, and then I suppose even through my fitness career, I could set up new challenges. I mean, I set up a boot camp, for example. One day I was like, I'm going to do a boot camp, 2012, park, I'm going to invite people, I'm going to get a Facebook page, and that's all I've done. I got 10 people my first week. Then the next week I get 12, then I get 15. Then I got maybe within about, I got a girl who came to my boot camp and I said to her, you're from Paisley, get me as many people from Paisley to Barshaw Park, and I'll go to Barshaw Park and do a boot camp, because currently I was doing it in Bellahouston. She's like, okay, I'll get a few. Turned up, there was 35 people there. I was like, what the fuck? I got a clue what I'm doing here. Like, I don't have any kit. I was just running about this park. Mate, there was people who were dead overweight, there was people who were sprinting, there was fucking people over there. I was like, this is a fucking rammy. Didn't take any of their details down, didn't have an email address or a phone number. I just had their £5 tucked in my pocket. And it went well enough. But it was just me transferring my energy onto them. Yeah. Come on, you can do it. And remember everyone's name, like the Rain Man. I remembered like everyone's name. Mate, honestly, the connection I had with people was like that. I was like, fuck, they're so burnt out, mate. Yeah. Sandra, your wee sister's called Julie. Julie. Oh, do you remember Julie? It was just like, mate. So, but I had to like, rather than having again like a system and a delivery process, I was just going, right, next week, 6-week challenge, sign up for it, 40 quid. After 6 weeks, it was called something else. It was called the Transformation Challenge, and I was just making things up as I went along.
Yeah.
That was class.
It sounds fucking class.
Oh, mate. The middle of fucking Barshaw Park, in the dog shit, with kettlebells everywhere. I didn't even drive at the time. I have a car, mate. I was getting a taxi. This is no shit, right? I only started driving 7 years ago. So I used to get a taxi. What would have been 28? I got a taxi, and the taxi used to come pick me up, right, at 6 o'clock. And mate, I took about 15 minutes to put my kit in the taxi. I had like four bags of kettlebells, and the guy's like, what the fuck? What are you doing here? I went, mate, I've got another bag coming. And then we drove to the park, put all the kit out. I thought it was a dog's bollocks at that time as well, 28. Yeah. That was a fucking dick, man. It wasn't a dick, but I was just me. I was like, see if I look at myself now, going, what were you doing, man? I didn't even have a car.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed myself. It was good.
What was the goal during that time?
The goal was, mate, I was a bit lost, mate, I'll be honest. I was partying as well, man. I was still, my son was, I had my, Lewis, when I had him, I was 26, so I separated from his mum when he was younger, so I used to maybe take him at the weekends and some days during the week as well. So my life probably was, it wasn't, I thought I was doing well because I was coming up with ideas, and I was busy, busy fool. Didn't have a car. It's funny because when I met Stacey, right? Met Stacey in Germany, and we're chatting. She's like, I was like, would you want to come over to Glasgow over to mine? She's like, aye. So like, I don't drive. I've got a 1-year-old son and I've got a rented party flat. Do you want to come and do you want to go out with me? She's like, and I look back now, I'm like, fucking hell.
Just take a shot.
Oh, mate. I look back, go, what the was I doing, man? But
I've got a question for you. See, because I think a lot of young entrepreneurs been a topic recently. Just there's something that Yanni Doino, who I had on, said at one point, and he said that like when it comes to business, let's wait around for a decade and see who's still in business.
Yep.
Because almost like a time will tell in terms of like business is a game of like staying in the game and progressing continually throughout it. And he said it in a much more nicer way than that. It made it sound like I was like pure. Yeah, he was like this villain, like saying this. Like, let's wait and see how many companies die. That wasn't how he put it, but I think it's almost as well like the kind of like culture here of failing, quote unquote, in business. I think that when I think about myself and when I think about other young entrepreneurs that maybe got to a stage where things haven't really worked out and they've maybe quote unquote failed, and it seems like every one of them, and even at times where I felt like maybe I'm going to lose it all, the main overwhelming feeling is just shame.
I could.
Did you like feel that throughout the part, or did you just were you just bouncing to?
Nah, I probably maybe disappointment, to be honest, because I felt like every idea I come up with, I feel like I'm like, that's amazing. Why shouldn't that work? And then when it didn't work, sometimes I had other people involved. I feel like I let them down. Probably more, to be honest, when I was that age, I was more just running off adrenaline all the time and just constantly not giving myself enough time to just write a plan.
Yeah.
If I look back now, I went through a wee stage, probably not beat myself up, but maybe thinking maybe I should have done better. But then now in hindsight, what I've learned, what all the failures and all these things, see now I'm so well prepared for what I'm doing now. But I think the main thing is get clarity on what your path is, probably. That's one of the main things that I realised back then. I didn't really know who I was a bit. Mm-hmm. Even though, sometimes you just go through, I was going through the fitness space, but probably fitness for me is something I've got a passion for.
Yeah.
But do I want to be a full-time business in fitness? Probably not.
Yeah.
Although I love doing boot camps. I do boot camps tomorrow for free. I love it. So it's
what do you love about it?
I just love the energy. You're out, people are training, there's no ego, there's no bravado, everyone's helping each other. Everyone's connecting. I'm good at connecting people. I brought a group together. There was like 20, 30 of us. Like, we were so tight. People didn't know each other. That's just freedom. You're out and you're just working hard and feeling good after it.
Yeah. Because I think the connection piece as well, man. Like when I was starting YNL, the initial thought process was I was alone. I didn't know anyone. And, I was 19, 20. And I was lucky that I had my mum who was in business, but that was it. I didn't know anyone my age. And it's like, that fucking, like, we forget that we're like tribal creatures, man, that are like fucking longing for connection, and when we don't have it, it's fucking terrible.
I think that's what I miss, to be honest. I was saying that to Stacey, my wife. I was like, I miss the boot camp side. I wouldn't do it often, but I was maybe going to do it again at some point.
Yeah.
Once a month, once a week, once a quarter, I don't know. Something like, or an event or something to get that connection, probably.
So obviously you evolved from obviously like the fitness industry into, from my understanding, like running the kitchen depot.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Like, what was the kind of like thought process behind starting it?
So I was running a gym in Paisley at the time, so I was doing everything, boot camps, personal training personal trainers, I was doing all sorts in this gym. The owner of the kitchen depot, he came into my gym in Paisley, and I was personal training him for 6 months. And it was the owner's son, but he was the managing director. He was a year older than me. We got on great. So his name's Mark. Chatting away, everything's good. And he was just nice to chat to. How's business going? What you doing? He said, I've got a kitchen business. So I actually generated leads in B&Q for kitchens when I was 20. So I've got a wee bit, I kind of knew a bit about kitchens. And we were just chatting about sales, and he needed a salesperson, and I was just like, I'll think about someday. And then it was just like one day I was like, I'll do that. And he's like, really? He went, oh, you still need a salesperson? He went, yeah. I went, I'll do it. And he went, well, what all this? And I was like, it just feels right, mate. I'll do it. Let me get back to you tomorrow. And then I just slept on it and went, That's it. And I just passed all my gym stuff to someone and just changed like that. Boom.
Wow.
And just literally just started working in the kitchens a week later, 2 weeks later. Went for an interview with his dad, got the job, and it just felt right. At the time, because of my poor organisation skills, I would get paid I'm not a fortune, I would get paid a lot 1 month, 1 week, but then there's no payment schedules. Next week I'm skint. I'm chasing money, I'm coming up with new challenges to generate money for myself. So as much as I was busy, I'd done contracts with Street League, I had personal training, I would have all these different avenues which potentially could have been good income streams. Because of no structure, I felt like I never had any money.
Yeah. What was the commitments you had to drop to then go and...
Well, I had maybe 20 personal training clients. I had boot camps, which I kept on. I had the educational stuff. I passed a lot of... I didn't just cut it dry, like cut and dry, like stopped it. I done it in a good way. I had someone else who was going to take over the clients who my clients knew. Yeah. Everything else I'd passed on to other people, sort of thing, and I kept my classes on a couple of times a week at the time. So then that to me then felt like it was just more structure.
Yep.
I was getting paid a certain amount. I was getting paid on that day. Just sell.
Yep.
And I knew I could sell. So I was like, we need to do some training. And I'm like, mate, get me in. So I was on day one, sold a kitchen, never fucking clue what I was selling. Women came in with some sizes. I grabbed her, I grabbed the girl who worked there. I was like, right, let's take a wee seat. What you doing? Sold her a kitchen, and it just went like that. And day one, I thought, oh, this is good. I know this is good. It worked in day one. I don't even have a clue how to work anything. And even the guy who owned it was like, who's this guy? I was like, nice to meet you, mate. I'm the new sales guy. Take a seat. Yeah. Give me a chair. I just get a good buzz off it, man. I'm like, I've not had that buzz because the gyms are good, but when you're selling, it wasn't even the money side. It's just like, it's just good, man. This woman came in thinking about it, and now she's walked away with a receipt in her hand because she just bought a 10 grand kitchen. Like that. Boom, 2 hours done. So I just got stuck right into that. I just like everything I do, I'm just all in. So I'm like all in, and people can I just go for it. And done that for a year, went really well. Done £1 million in sales ish, and then became the manager. Set a sales team up, and then we just built and built and built, and then got to a stage where I couldn't go any further.
Yep.
And because it's a family-run company, there's a lot of the senior positions are family, so I always felt like the next step is maybe a sales director's job, but then that was pretty much taken. So I'm like, what do we do next? Stacey worked for the company as well, doing the operation side of things. Stacey was from Edinburgh. So I'm like, what's the next stage? Do we just get a franchise? Then we thought, okay, let's just try that. Didn't have any money for it. I was like, how are we going to pay for it? I was like, I don't know. Let's just try and find some money and let's try and make it work. And that was how that came about. And it wasn't like, it was never the plan. Yeah. And then we fell into, moved from Glasgow to Edinburgh 3 years ago, set that up. Yeah, and that's been me since then. So,
what advice would you have for, because you kind of nonchalantly just went through, like, literally came in, sold on day one, and then ascended all the way to the point that I couldn't ascend anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably a lot of people out there, whether it's young entrepreneurs that are working jobs currently that are trying to make extra cash to start a business, or maybe they've started a business and they know this path of ascension, but there's maybe blockers maybe getting in the way, etc. Like, what for you? Because you said you were all in.
Yeah.
Like, how did you ascend so fast? Like, when you're reflecting on it now, what was the common denominators? Like, what are the things that are springing to your mind that made that happen?
Set myself. Well, I'm confident in what I can deliver. So I think set myself high targets and hold myself accountable to make sure I hit them. And if I can't, work out a way how I can. Like the big thing with people who are selling, especially, and who's got a business or aimed at trying to sell anything, they just bullshit themselves. That's the problem. They lie to themselves a bit of where they currently are. They all tell you they can sell 70%, 80%, but they can't. That's cool. 1 month they may be able to do it, but you've got to do it every month, or you've got to get to a stage you can get to a level, and you can do that level every month. So then you just know it's just a big game of numbers. If I want to sell 20 kitchens and my closing ratio is 50%, and it is genuinely 50%, I need to set 40. That's how it's going to go. But a lot of people get muddled up with where they're currently at. I think they're not really true to themselves.
Yeah.
So they'll kind of lie to themselves a bit, which then stops them getting to where they have to go.
And what is the kind of work that you put into? So you say, like, set a target, you don't hit that target, what's the type of work that you'd be putting in to get up to the target that you actually set?
Well, I'll be honest, when it comes to sales, it goes back to the stuff from the gym. It's like, if you're selling, so whatever you're selling, if you've got a decent product and you're not a complete cunt, you'll sell. You know what I mean? You'll sell because but you need to understand, get to an understanding of the people you're selling to, and understand and listen to them and understand the problems I've got, so then you can deliver something that's going to fix them. I just monitored my closing ratio all the time, and I was like, I want to sell £1 million. My average order value is £10,000, so I need to sell 100 kitchens a year. 100 kitchens divided by 12 is, what's that? 8.5, 9. If my closing ratio is, say it's about 60 to 70, but say if it's only 50, I need to set 18 appointments. How am I getting 18 appointments? Let's get the 18. Don't think about the big number. Get my 18 appointments, because that's going to then transfer down with the ratios to get my number. And then just keep looking at it. Track it every week, track it every month, and just go for it. That's it. But that was true numbers for me. Yeah. And a lot of people, I don't think, will reveal their true numbers because they're too scared, because it's too low. Yeah. But it's cool, because if it's too low, that's fine. You can learn how to get to the rest. But a lot of people don't. I was happy to reveal my true numbers to myself, because I go, well, I know I can get to the numbers I want to. But a lot of people don't do that. Yeah. They're too busy going, yeah, we've got a great brand and we can do this. Everyone can sell, right? You can sell, I can sell. Anybody can sell anything. Yeah. But can you do it consistently every month at the same rate all the time? That's actually selling. Yeah. But I think even working with Nick, we scale trades now. You're working with a lot of tradespeople and different people for the home improvement industry. It's not just them, but everybody thinks. I spoke to a guy yesterday, sells windows in Shrewsbury. I said to him, David, if I give you 10 appointments and you go to 10 appointments, how many will you sell? Oh, mate, I'll sell 70%, mate. Well, that's not, whatever accent, right? That's not Shrewsbury. But he's selling 70%. I was like, you will sell 7 out of 10 deals. He went, yeah, mate, I'm the guy. I go there and talk to them about windows and doors, and they love me, mate. Right, so every single month, you will get 7 out of 10 deals going into somebody's house selling windows. Well, not every month, mate, now. Right, okay, what about month 2? Well, sometimes it's like 30. Right, okay, so we make it 30 then? Well, no, it's 70. Right, well, it's 70 once. Yeah. But take the averages, what is it really? So again, it's like, that's the problem. What's good probably about myself is I'm happy to admit, mate, where I'm at. I don't care. And I don't care what people think. I don't. Yeah. But everybody's like playing this game where it's like the bravado game. This is what I'm doing. This is what I've got. Who cares? Who fucking cares? It's a game. It's like we should all just, especially guys, man, it's just like ego into it and bravado, and they're too scared to be emotional and too scared to connect with what they're supposed to be doing. So they get this kind of like adrenaline rush and this fucking cortisol, man, rushing through their system, triggering them, trying to be this person they're not. And then they never go, then they go like this and never get to the top, because they're just, the top is something they're trying to get to, but they're never admitting where they currently are.
Do you think because you reflect on your younger self earlier on, you said like a lot of bravado, a lot of ego. Do you think that's like, do you think the awareness you've got of that now stems from the way you were younger, or?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah. It's probably what who I thought I was back then isn't who I actually was. I wasn't that, but I thought it was this, like, because I was getting pats in the back for selling, you're amazing. I thought I was a business guy. Mate, I didn't have a fucking car. I had a rented party flat. Mate, it was a wreck. Could hardly afford to pay my rent most months. And I'm out in Barshaw Park in a taxi with kettlebells. I'm not a businessman at all, mate. I've fucking no business. I don't even have a business bank account. But at the time, I'm like, oh, I've got a business, man. God. I've got a ripped pair of fucking night joggies in a park in Paisley, mate. That's not a businessman. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, man, I'm a businessman. Hello. Like waving my fucking hands about. Yes. I'm cutting ribbons at Toby Carvery and that. Yeah. So if I look back at that guy, I wasn't a bad guy at all, right? I'm always like a nice guy, mate. I've got a lot of love in me, and I want people to do well and all that. And I was always doing good for people. I wasn't like, but I look back and I think, fuck me, what are you doing?
that's obviously like now that kind of realization. Because what I'm taking from what you're saying is that like the numbers of sales actually brought you, like, numbers bring clarity, and for you it like fucking it told you the truth as well. Like looking at like the close rate and actually working, just because everything I've just took from you there is that everything sales wise is looking at the close rate and simply doing the maths of what's required to hit the target that you want. And if you simply are not closing high enough to hit that target based on the leads that you're getting or the appointments you're getting set to you, then you need to fucking improve. How do we improve? And then that's it. Whereas, like you're saying, there's not enough, like that numbers part. Even mate, I'm at the event that we've got that we're hosting on Saturday. One of the things I'm running through is like this client acquisition plan, which we actually built with Nick, fun enough, towards the end of last year. And when we ran through Nick, it was like, how many clients are you expected to sign each month with Graeme being involved? And it was so fucking clear for him to actually map out what is actually required for him to generate X number of clients for him to go hit the goals. See, the most common answer I get when I ask a young entrepreneur, how many clients are you expected to sign next month? They'll go,
just pick a number.
5. Just random as fuck.
Aye.
And it's like, that's not an expectation. That's just what you hope that you're going to hit. Like, where's the actual...
How are you going to get 5?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, I'm Facebook and that. How many do you need to sit and speak to and pitch to get 5?
Yeah.
Well, just 5, mate. Because I'm fucking great, mate. Just like the guy from Shrewsbury who talks like a guy from London. That's what it's like, though. And it's sometimes if I've done any like sales training with anybody or anything like that, I probably overcomplicate it. A lot of people just need to know the basic numbers, man. Break it down. But again, it's all to do with be just honest with yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like some people make lots of money, some people don't. Some people close dead high, some people don't. But once you start admitting where you're at, you go quicker, man. You go like that.
Yeah.
But people don't want to accept the help because they're too busy like, don't need that.
Yeah. I think it's like at your core as well, man. Like there's an aspect of, there's so many fucking things at play, man. But when I'm like reflecting on, even for myself, maybe when things are not going as well as they thought they would, maybe go through a big churn period, it's almost like I need to fight whether it's inner child, whether it's fucking ego that's like, shut the fuck up, sit down and pull up the numbers. Where are we actually at? Where do we need to get to? What do we need to get in play? But there's a genuine internal fight of like, almost like fucking ignorance, just like, no, just ignorance is bliss. Like, fuck the numbers. When that is literally what is going to result in the company like continuing on a downward trend if there's a downward trend in play. Yeah. And just like, it's almost like the ego actually overrides the logic of having a business that continues to grow. You'd rather just fucking push it back because you don't want to think that everything's going to shit, and then everything goes to shit anyways because you're not looking at numbers.
Comfort, isn't it? People just, they sort of seek comfort a bit, or subconsciously seek comfort. So you do what you think's easy, and then until you're in the shit, until you're proper. That was a big part of that happened to me. Basically, I went through a bad period, like a really bad period, where it's a bit a long story, but we one of the businesses I was trying to set up, and probably not going into too much detail on it, but there was a lot of like fraudulent stuff going on. I had basically went from doing okay to had no money, was behind 2 months behind my rent. I was on shit street, man. I was like, fuck, I'm pretty fucked here. It was like, I had to make like decisions on what I was going to do. And then it gave me a bit of strength, strangely, to like go again a bit, which was a bit strange. But and then when I met Stacey, she sort of sorted me out. So she was she sort of got me on the right path.
It's interesting because like urgency for me creates strength to make decisions that I often delay. So like if urgency is truly put on a platter to me where it's like, this needs to be fucking made now, like the strength to make decisions that I was once delaying for months, and it's just like, I know this needs to be fucking done. And I'm not sure if that was maybe the same for yourself, maybe how you found strength in that, like 2 months behind rent, etc. It was almost like, well, there's no fucking time like now to
I supposed to say it was delaying decisions probably at the time. There's decisions I knew I had to make that I didn't make. I was too scared. Yeah. But at the time I was 20, probably, what age are you? 27?
25.
You're 25?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. Let Nick at you, mate. Fucking hell. But I was, mate, I've probably maturity level, man, back then was like 7-year-old. So I was too scared to make the decisions I had to make to take me forward. Even though I knew even my gut, mate, my gut was telling me, but it was just like, put it off the now, put it off the now. And you make it and you go, oh, that was like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But delayed it for maybe 18 months, 12 months or something.
What are some of the decisions you were delaying? You don't have to go into like crazy details, but examples.
Cutting ties with things that I knew was going wrong. Like, and actually that's one of my probably biggest qualities, I would say. I'm good at making decisions.
Yeah.
Even back then I knew what decisions to make, but I wasn't making them.
And what was influencing you to not make them? Maybe was it other people? Was it relationships?
Other people? Other people. The fear of having another business that failed. I'll be honest. I didn't want to. I'd already failed at the first online fitness thing. The second time, it wasn't working. I knew why it wasn't working. I kind of didn't know fully, but I just knew it wasn't working. I knew it wasn't the right path for me. I spent loads of time trying to make it work. I'd spent years with the other thing as well. I'm like, I need to cut this loose because it's just holding me back. But I can't because I'm going to let people down. I'll look like a failure.
It's that shame piece, isn't it? Like
holding on to it. And I'm like, end of the day, when I look back now, I'm thinking, mate, it's a business, man. Fuck's sake, calm down.
Yeah.
But actually, it's easy for me to say now because I'm a big 4-0, you know, now. I can look back and go, but it's equipped me with good experiences.
Yeah.
So even like the working in the kitchen depot and working alongside Nick, there's decisions that I would have probably jumped into dead quick. Whereas now, I'll go, do you know what, I'll sleep on it, which I never used to do. See, now any of the big decision, as much as, because I'm quite impulsive, and sometimes lead with energy rather than logic, which is probably not the best thing to do. So now I'm like, that sounds great. No matter how good or bad it is or how amazing it could be, let me sleep on it. Yeah. I'll sleep on it. And then the next day it'll be like, nah, let's do it.
Yeah. I love that, mate. One of the things that you said earlier on was, or just like literally 10 seconds ago, was almost like attaching I've like faced this like personally, some stuff I've worked through in therapy with it as well, is like attaching my worth to the business. So when business is doing well, I'm fucking shit hot. When business is maybe on a downturn, it's like, I'm not that I'm a worst cunt, I'm just not even present. Like I'm not even there.
Yeah.
And I think growing up, especially like the younger audiences, seeing people like Iman Gadsey, all these people are doing crazy numbers and feeling this fucking like shame of not being there in their fucking 20s, when like the first ever mentor I had when I was in the streaming days when I was 18 was a guy called Posty. I've spoken about him a couple of times on here. He was based over in America, had 6 different companies, all of them ran without him, had a huge office building, 70 plus offices that he owned, like incredible guy. And see, hearing him speak about entrepreneurship, like compared to how it's spoke about here, it's fucking mental in terms of like the culture over there in terms of failure is like, you won't even get investment unless you failed. Like, they won't even fucking touch you. Whereas here it's like, the thought of failing on a first business is like, you think the whole fucking world's going to end.
I think people feel more exposed because there's more social media as well.
Yeah.
I think they feel like there's too much exposure. I mean, that's why I think now there's so much opportunity now though. Like, I think there's more opportunity now than ever was. But I think there's part of me thinks so people are getting led down a path, not purposely, but they're following too many people. Like, inspirational people are great, but they're not following their own path. They don't write down what gets me excited. What's my high skill? What am I good at? What can I get paid the most for? And work out who they actually are. Because they go, I want to do what he does. Well, you don't. You want the car that he's got. You want the money that he gets. But do you actually want to do what he does? What do you want to do? That's, to be honest, for me, I've always probably been on that journey. But the past few years, I've been really trying to like dig deep and go, well, what do you want to be doing here, mate? What gets you going? Boot camps get me going. But I don't want to do that all the time. Sales gets me going. There's all these things that you're just sort of fighting with sometimes to decide.
And what's kind of like led you down the path of deciding to work with Nick, who, for anyone who doesn't know, Nick runs a marketing agency for home improvement businesses?
It's funny because I've always been the type of person to, I've got an A3 pad, and I've got loads of pads, mate. It's just all ideas, like, Rain Man, going to do this, going to do that, going to start this company, and I've still got, mate, it's like that thick. And somebody will find it one day, or I'll pass it on to somebody, will make a fucking shit ton of money out of it. And I'm like, mate, some of the stuff in there, like, that's good.
Dynamite.
Right? But I've kind of just, Nick asked me to speak at an event, one of his events, it went really well. I just got good energy from it. And it's probably the first time in a long time, that I've been offered something that I haven't searched for.
Mm.
And that felt good. I was like, this, it just felt good.
Yeah, I've noticed that's something that you've said quite frequently, like when things feel right, trusting your intuition, like all those different components. Like, where do you think that stems from?
I think probably what I've learned a lot. I've studied something called NLP. It's called Neuro Linguistic Programming. Qualified practitioner, by the way, just to let you know. Yeah, 3 years worth of study. But a lot of it is like it breaks people down into sometimes how people communicate. I'm probably class as somebody that's kinesthetic, and that means they like to feel things and they get feelings for things, whereas some people are more visual and logical, will base things on logic and base things on numbers and strategy and spreadsheets. And I think naturally I've always been that sort of feeling person, which not always sometimes to my detriment, to be honest, because sometimes I make decisions based on how I feel, actually, rather than what I should be doing. So, but for me, I've got to feel good when I'm doing something. And when I was maybe younger, 10 years ago, I was doing things for money. It felt good because I was earning money. But actually, if I look back, I was in a lot of debt when I was younger. So making money almost felt like I was far away from debt. So that felt good. But actually what I was doing to make the money didn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
I was sort of kidding myself on.
How much do you value money?
Good question. Struggled a bit, actually. Probably more recently. I want a lot of money now. I'm happy to say that. Whereas before I was like, oh, it's not about money, it's about service and make people feel good. But the world revolves around money. Unfortunately, you need a lot of money to do nice things. Yeah. I think I'm worth a lot of money, to be honest. Without being a big head, I think the energy I put into everything I do, I think I should be paid well for it. And there's enough money in the world for everyone. If they go and just write it down, get clear where they're going, be honest with yourself, and fucking move forward. So, how much do I value it? At the end of the day, once you start making money, it's like a game.
Yeah.
You've got to like what you do, you've got to connect with people, you've got to see a higher value than money. It's not just about chasing money. But I've moved to Edinburgh from Glasgow, a 5-bedroom house in Edinburgh, mate, at 600 grand. I need money to pay for that. I need money to pay for that. So I need to be focused on making money at the same time, and that comes from what's my highest skill, what can I be paid the most for at the moment is selling. It's driving sales. That's where I can be paid the most for, and having the balance of enjoying it.
It's the highest point of leverage, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting because what you actually said, that first mentor speaking about Posty, fun enough, the thing that he put in my language, which at the time was because I was playing Call of Duty at the time, he was like, business and money is literally like creating a scoreboard, and how much money you make dictates where you are on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And the amount of vehicles, the amount of opportunities that you have to drive as much cash as possible will determine how much cash you make, as long as you put in the work.
Yeah.
And I remember at that time, like, because all I fucking focused on playing Call of Duty was just scoreboards, just being at the top all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And whether he meant it or not, whether that was just how he operated in his mind, but everything he spoke about, like, because it got to a stage where like he didn't need to work anymore, didn't anything like that, and I asked him like why he does it. And he's like, because I've got this fucking scoreboard, mate, and I've got this component of it and this component. Like, he used to have like pots, so like one of his pots was for like charity and streamers. So I was one of the streamers that used to donate to, gift subs to, etc.
Right.
And he used to like watch my stream all the time. And it was like he had a charity pot where he basically, it was like a percentage of earnings, but it had a minimum amount that had to go in there every month, which was roughly about 250k
right,
to charities. And in streamers, he had like a pot that was like, I don't know, like 25k or something. And it was like, he had like made this mental commitment that was like up here. If that didn't get done, like you may as well fucking die. Like it was so fucking like important to him, and all these things linked into this scoreboard of how much money he had to make.
Right.
And mate, this guy used to work fucking 2 8-hour days every day, sleep for 4 hours in between. Like constructed his whole routine around optimization for the 6 companies that were on 2 different continents. So he literally worked for 8, sleep for 4.
What's he doing now?
For 8. I've not spoken to him in a good couple of years, mate. Like he was somebody, no personal brand, had like a little Twitch name in the chat. Lucky enough, I had a call with him, which like he never done calls either. That call, bro, was from 1 a.m. until 6:30 in the morning was when I got off it. Yeah, I heard my mum getting up at 5:30 and she comes and she's like, "You're right," and I'm like, "Wait till I fucking tell you what's going on. Wait till I tell you what's going on." But Yeah, everything, man. Everything he spoke about was just like scoreboard numbers, like, but also this like fucking sense of like drive. Whether it was like in his mind, it was real drive, but to a lot of people, it seemed like false drive. He doesn't need to make that amount of money for charity and all that sort. He doesn't need to do any of those things, but in his mind, he did.
But I think that's what happens because money. You want to earn a certain amount of money because it supports your lifestyle and whatever the goals, I suppose. But after that, if you're like, I would do most of the things I'm doing now without getting paid. If money didn't really exist, I would probably pretty much be doing what I'm doing. I'd do the odd boot camp again, but it's you need to get to a certain point to make sure. I've got a family with 3 kids. I need to support that. I need to have enough money to support everything that we're doing to live comfortably and to have the feeling that I don't necessarily need to feel like there's money available when I need it, basically.
Yeah, I love it, mate. What's because we've not really spoke about, well, we kind of overarched the kitchen depot as a whole.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a quick like couple of minutes run through of like the journey of the kitchen depot? And I'm interested to speak about the kind of stuff with Nick as well.
Yeah. So started off selling kitchens in 2017. Was a manager in 2018. We built the sales team up. We moved to the bigger showroom. Built that up until the pandemic hit. A few complications. Back on track. Hit big numbers again. Then we got to 2022. Moved from Glasgow to Edinburgh. Got the franchise. In the first year, won top sales last year, and this is going to our 3rd year with the franchise kitchen sales.
Yeah. Can we speak about numbers?
Yeah.
What did you do last year?
Turned over just less than $1 million, just less. Was it? To be honest, I can't remember the exact number. Yeah. As much as I know my numbers all the time, to be honest, it sounds daft, but I don't. When it comes to like accounts and all that shit, mate, I can't be bothered with all that. It sounds a bit daft, but we'd probably we'll do about $1 million this year. I've lost a bit of passion for it, to be honest. That's probably selling is good, but there's selling kitchens is slightly different because it's like almost like 2 parts, or sometimes 3 parts. You're selling, and you're ordering the stuff, which is the operations part, and organising all the renovations and the fitting and all that, and installations, and even installations separately. That sort of killed my buzz.
Yeah,
because that just knocks the shit out of me, man. Because it's something that we're good at. Like me and Stacey have spent combination probably between us both 12 years doing it. Got good at it. But the installation sort of stuff is maybe not something I'm usually passionate about, if I'm being honest, which is sometimes a bit strange because I don't hate it, but it doesn't give me as much energy as other things. How
come you've never like outsourced, hired like that side?
Because it's difficult. To be honest, we could employ kitchen fitters and plumbers and joiners. It's a bit of a minefield, I'll be honest, with that installation side of things, because
I was more referring to like someone managing what you manage.
Oh, sorry, like the kitchen depots.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You having like all the fitters and shit in house, that'd be fucking chaos.
Oh no, chaos, mate. So to be honest, I'm on that path now.
Yeah, nice.
On that path now. That's the path we're on. Obviously Stacey's part of the business. I've got 2 designers as well who already work there. So the idea is now, the past 2 months I've been working on detaching myself from it, still maintaining a level of numbers without me being in it. So I've done it for 6 weeks and it's worked.
Nice.
It's hard though, because it's probably not exactly the numbers we want, but it's enough.
Yeah. Does that make you want to step in at all?
It did for a few weeks, but because I know what's possible. But I've got to let people breathe and do it, train them up enough and let them do it.
Yeah.
And just monitor the numbers every week. I mean, Stacey's there, so she looks after it in terms of like the operations and everything, making sure it ticks over fine. And I'll be honest, I've never had a business that's properly worked, mate. Once we have a proper business, I mean, I had all these wee £5 boot camp businesses, and I'm the businessman with fucking 25 kettlebells in his back. But this is the first time we've had a business that turns over money and it does okay. And don't get me wrong, it's not like hugely profitable. It does okay. Like margins are sometimes quite tight, but it's a showroom in a nice area in Edinburgh. It's got staff and it operates well without me. So,
how's that feel? Given the fact that you've never had a business that does that.
Good, yeah. To be honest, it only really works because of Stacey, because she's that integrator person. The compliance, I can do the whole top heavy stuff, sell like mad, bring it all in, but see if in the back end, the kitchen stuff, mate, if that goes wrong, oh mate, that's bad. You order on kitchen to turn up the wrong colour, the wrong stuff's there, the fitters are waiting. That's a shit show and a half, mate. That's an anxiety attack waiting for you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
The thing is though, like both of them are like Stacey without you.
We complement each other.
100%.
We complement each other, so that's been. But no, it feels good. It's good. I'm moving in the right direction, to be honest.
Yeah, I asked that kind of a bit of a loaded question, mainly because, like, I got the sense from everything you kind of like spoke about was that the reason a lot of these companies failed was because you didn't have the back end sorted.
Yeah.
And now that you've got that and the back end is sorted, you've also now like lost a bit of buzz around it and stuff like that. And then maybe at one point that was probably all you ever wanted was for a business to be able to operate without you.
Yeah.
Like, is that ever crossed your mind? Has that ever been a thought, or
what, doing something different, or
just more like almost like from an awareness perspective, this was one thing that you always wanted, almost to have a business that could operate without you, or maybe that you didn't want?
I just like I don't know. I think. Wow, I don't know. I never to be honest, probably my plans sometimes change all the time, mate. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to have 5 showrooms. Let's just go for it. Then I'm thinking 5 showrooms, 5 sets of fitters, working weekends and nights. Their motives change.
Yeah.
So, only very recently that I've not been in as much, and it's working, and my anxiety is less. I'm like, this is actually pretty good. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
But then my logic head now is thinking, well, how much is it worth it?
Yeah.
Let's see at the end of the year, is it really worth having 20, 30 grand extra? Is that's all it is? Is it really worth to have it? Is it not worth to have it? What do you do next? What's your next move?
Because you're taking on a lot of risk, right? Like if you're managing a business but the margins are low, it's like
it's high volume sales all the time.
Yeah.
We need to fit 100 kitchens a year. That's pretty much it. That's what we need to do to make it worthwhile. Doing 60 and 70, you're just playing risky games. It's like, but I'm confident selling, so I don't have any hesitations about it. I can start tomorrow, and I know I'm going to sell. The numbers are there. I've got the conversion rate. I've got everything mapped out. I know what to expect. I've done it for so long, so I've got that. I don't really worry about that side of things because I know I can just always jump in. But if it shit hit the fan, I can jump back into it.
Yeah, for sure. I get that. So I guess like it's got to a stage now where you're now working with Nick at We Skill Trades, like we've touched on. How's that been?
Good. That's been good.
What's the role that you're playing just now?
Just everything, mate. He's a pure lazy bastard. You're watching this, mate. You're lazy. God. Telling you right now, mate. Buck up your ideas, mate, or I'm off. Nah, it's good, to be honest. It's like, it's without, don't give him too much praise, but he's built the foundations of something great, and all I really get to do is put my energy behind it and maybe get a bit more sales focused in terms of where we want to go.
Yep.
He's got everything else that I do in my current work, worry about the bills and staff and all, like the systems and all that other stuff. As much as Stacey does that, you're still part of. Yeah. I don't need to get part of that. There's other people in place to do all that. I just need to do what I'm good at.
Yeah.
And add in ideas and ways I can improve, use previous things like contacts, and it sort of ties into my own work anyway, which is a good thing. It's not a completely separate business. Lead generation, which I'm already a customer of We Skill Trades, so it ties into my own business. So pretty much I can do both. I can work with Nick, but also monitor the own lead generation in my own company.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good. Nick's a fucking animal, man. Like, he is an absolute fucking.
What do we need to solve today? But fucking, he's solving problems everywhere and building systems everywhere. But nah, he's good, man. He's really good at his job, and he's got, and I would say he's got a good outlook and how things work.
Yeah.
In terms of like, he wants to do well for himself, but he's not just motivated just by money only.
Yeah.
He's service driven, and that was a kind of good pull for me as well, because it's as much as I want to earn good money, I want to what he's building. Well, what I could see what I could see in his company is maybe different to what he thought. I'm like, this is only just level 1, mate. As much as it's good, it's turning over decent money. Yeah. This is only just here.
Yeah.
I think that can be a way up there, way up there, just for everything it's got, the service, the consistency, results, just everything about it. And I've been part of it as a customer.
Yeah.
So no, that was kind of, and it kind of just, I was a bit hesitant, mate, if I'm being honest as well, because I had my own work, and I'm like, look, should I be doing it? Should I not be doing it? Make the right move, sleep on it, mate. But then Stacey said to me, which she never does, because I've done so many different things, she's like, okay, what's next? Butlers, is it? Aye. No, she was like, see this? Full scale, get into it. Like, all in.
Why do you think she said that?
Because she's got so much confidence in Nick and the brand and everything. She knows that it's, I don't need to get involved in any of all that stuff. And anything that I want to do myself, you need somebody else like that to make it work, or I'll just do what I've done previously. And she's stuck by me with all the mad shit stuff I used to do, and she's just going, here we go again. Whereas now she's like, just get into that, because you're going, that's like almost perfect for you.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. So that's
fucking class, bro. That's actually like such a good like story in terms of, because like the relationship you built with Nick, like being a customer, like firsthand, witnessing it, experiencing it. I mean, it's one of the first things that like Phil will say to us, like if you're hiring, like look internally first, look at your clients, look at the people that are in your network. Like,
it's easy as well for me to sell to clients, build a sale, everything that evolves around. I know exactly from start to finish how it all works. Yeah, and I've got total confidence in the service because I use it. Yeah, but so we're just we're still at second base together, you know. Buying each other meal deals at lunch. You want a meal deal, mate? Refrigerators. He's like, do you want a meal deal, mate? Yeah, get me some boiled eggs. He's like, oh, that's cute. I'll get it. No, you get it. I'll get it. No, I'll get it. I'll get it, mate. I'll get it. You get it, mate.
You know, one of the things you highlighted, which I fucking love, is like the impact piece, like actually wanting to get good fucking results, like being driven by it, and also understanding that you cannot build a business on something that gets fucking shit results unless you just want to churn out, like be a fucking churn machine. And yeah, like I think that's something that it's funny, because like when you build like a kind of close knit group of people where you all look at the world one way, which is like, for us it would be like impact, service driven. If results are down, like what the fuck is going on? But it's crazy, mate, from a percentage basis of how many businesses do not actually give a fuck about it.
And I've worked in home improvements for almost 10 years, and a lot, even I've worked in the fitness industry as well. Again, a lot of it is all about them, the business owner, about them, what they've got, how much they're making. I'm like, see, if you just sat in a room for 5 minutes yourself and didn't speak to anybody, didn't have a noise, and just thought, close your eyes, what is the best situation for my potential customer? How would they feel? How can I make them feel good? And that's whatever you're selling, boilers or windows or personal, whatever you're selling, how do you deliver something that they'll go, oh, this is fucking class? And what is that? Write it down. How do I deliver that? Write it down. And then deliver it. And then boom, mate, you unlimited sales. But no one does it. They just go, I need 100 grand. I need a van. I need a new car. I need a holiday. That's all they think about. And the customer, they'll get customers, but they'll never get enough. Nobody ever gets enough because they're too busy looking at themselves, rather than like just spend 5 minutes. Yeah. Like spend 5 minutes. How can I make, so if I'm working with kitchen clients, for example, how can I make this customer journey as stress-free and seamless as possible? Well, I can go and see the customer, and I can sell them the kitchen, I can get the fitter out to see them, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them back in one more time before they even go ahead, just to go over everything, sign it off. During the kitchen fit, I'm going to turn up and see them. I'm going to start a WhatsApp chat to give them comfort, so it's constant communication. And at the very end of the job, I'm going to come out with a bottle of champagne and a quartz chopping board that I've wrapped up in a bow, or Stacey's wrapped up in a bow, and say thanks very much. That's top class service, mate. That's referrals all day, and that's what I get. Because I sat for 5 minutes and thought, how would someone feel if I'd done that? I feel fucking class.
Yeah.
But I've built in the time to do that. Whereas a lot of people don't build time to do the extra mile because they're too busy, they're too rushed, and that's actually probably losing them 20% of sales, 30%, just because they just that little gap where they just think for a minute, just stop. It's me dealing with a lot of the home improvement guys. Oh, I need to come up with this new sales system. I'm like, okay, how do you currently sell? I go to the customer's house, I measure the windows up, or I measure the room up. I go back to the office and email them. Okay, so you're expecting the customer to spend 50 grand. You've seen them for half an hour and you're going to email them. What happens if you went to see them, sat down, wrote everything they need, measured up, went back to the office, got all the plans, printed them off, printed the quotes off, and went back to see them, sat on the table, got a cup of tea, and talked over the 50 grand project? Oh, I'm too busy to do that. Why don't you try it? So I put it down to one person. Oh, surprise, surprise. The customer. What?
Yeah. Because
they spent that extra time, build it in. Somebody who's spending money, fucking give them the time, man. Give them the time to do it. Are they just in a rush? Bum, 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 bum. But because they're selling, they think they're good at sales. When actually there's so much stuff left on the table. It's nuts, man. But people don't spend 5 minutes. Just spend 5 minutes and think, what's the ideal customer situation? Write it down. Deliver it. That's it. It can be so simple.
There's one of the books I read that was 101 Truths for a Simple Life. And there was a part in it where it said, it was actually just a reference to relationships, but it applies directly to sales. And it was, the moment you lose a relationship is when you think what the relationship will do for you as opposed to what it will do for them.
Yeah.
And that's just the exact same as sales, man. Like, as soon as you start thinking about what it's going to do for you, like showing up to a sales call with like, this is so much cash we're going to fucking bank, or this is how much we're going to get in, and this is what I'm going to do off the back of getting that cash in, is this and this, and or maybe it's sales reps, it's commission. It's like, as soon as you go in with that mentality, man, you fucking lose it. You literally lose it, and you have to, it's mental.
That's a problem as well. I found that it's trying to be, even like people I've had in showrooms, everyone's too, they're sort of like, they're too ready to pitch. They don't listen. They're always waiting to speak. They're just looking at you, not listening to anything you're saying, but they're ready to go. Guess what? I can sell you this, and I've got the best thing in the world, and my granny's got blue hair as well, and your granny's got blue hair, and it's all this fucking fake, fluffy shit, because not actually listening to anything you're saying. And then you don't feel connected to them, and there's no rapport built because you're not listening. They're just waiting to give them this amazing pitch that they've got built up in their head that they've never written down. It's never been practiced. It's just a case of, get back to basics. Keep the ball on the deck, lads. That's my mantra, man. Keep the ball on the deck. No long balls, mate. I was too many long balls when I was younger, mate. I was like fucking corner to corner, man. Fucking keep going, mate. Corner flag.
It's interesting because actually one of the things that I learned just naturally as I went through like developing myself in the sales side of things was that one thing I done really well, which actually I learned from a program that I went through, was to look for 3 problems before you start presenting solutions.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, the one thing that they actually taught me to do was hold back. As soon as they give you that first wee problem that you can solve, and you're like, oh my fucking God, 5 minutes, like fucking, I can help you, and this is how I can help you, and like almost that 3 problem rule, like literally, like changed the fucking game for me, man.
It's pretty good. Whenever I heard that, it's good.
Can I say?
You're a good listener, though. You're good. You're good at your cam, and like that's good because people will, even like if I'm selling, I used to be the guy, the pitch guy. Sit down, I'll do this for you, gym membership. Then realising, wait a minute, I've not actually asked you why you're here. Why are you here again? Sorry, mate. It's all about me, man. I want my commission, mate. I'm skint. I'm going out on Friday. Are you signing up or are you not signing up? But when you do shit like that, all you do is just, you end up selling on price then.
Yeah.
Nah, I've done that a lot as well for a long time. You just sell on price and high volume. How much is it? It's £50. I'll do it for 40. Boom. But then you start being better and you can sell on value, service, and actually make higher purchase or higher value sales that way. But you're good at listening, so that's why you would sell a lot naturally. So.
I appreciate that, mate.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. One of the things I'm curious about, because we're like an hour and 10-15 minutes in already.
Are we?
I just fucking flew by, which I knew would be the case, mate. What I'm curious about, because you spoke a good bit, we spoke at next event as well about this kind of like path where you want to go.
Oh man, mate, I did an hour and a half, man. Who
Maybe back
knows?
for a part two.
So what is the question? Where am I going?
Like in your head just now, like where are you heading?
So I'm on the right path now. I would like to do some sort of mentoring, coaching, something like that in that space at some point. I don't know if it's exactly sales, or it's maybe a multitude of sales, mindset, wellness, and general life stuff. Probably don't like the word life coach because it's a bit like, but I probably don't feel comfortable with that sort of thing yet. Because I'm a bit like, but I offer a lot of value to people.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of life experience. I mean, so many fuck ups, and I'm good at quite a lot of things. I've got a young family. I work hard. I've ticked a lot of boxes. I can help people. I know I can.
Yeah.
Probably at this moment in my life where I've got a kitchen showroom and doing stuff with Nick, it's not the right time. Only because I need to get more work-life balance. But probably a bit too scared to ask myself the question right now, because I don't know exactly what the answer is going to be, because then it makes me make decisions on things I'm doing right this moment.
Yeah.
So, but I would like to do something in that space, maybe have a motivational event, an event, something big with people.
Yeah.
That would be success for me.
What do you think is the thing that's making you scared to make the commitment?
Probably I need to make more adult decisions based on, because I've now got involved in 2 businesses, and both of them not heavily rely on me, but I've got a big part in them. Yeah. So something we need to drop to make it work. I think I don't have that much more. The way my life balances, and I'm trying to build in more time. Yeah. And it is, well, say more time, just weekends off. Yeah. Pretty much. That's all. I'm not asking for anything else. But I mean, I could slowly work towards doing it, which I might do. But when I do something, like if I'm doing stuff with Nick, I'm laser focused. My mind's at my wee mouse and I mate all the time. I'm like, oh, butterfly, oh, fucking chocolate egg, you know what I mean, something like that. Oh, so I perform better by doing one thing. And if I'm doing, or if the kitchen depot's working, and I'm doing stuff with Nick, in my head, I'm like, I'll give you 50 clients by end of May. Nothing else matters to me now. I've committed it mentally. I've told him we're going to get 100 clients by the end of the year. That's a non-negotiable. If I put that down, it's because I've thought about it, I've processed it, I've analysed it. Can I do it with the resources I've got? Is the brand good enough? Is the product good enough? Can I physically do it? What's my max output for the month? I've tested all that. I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. So I would never stop till I get that. That has to be done.
One of the things I did want to speak to you about at one point was you seem to just have what I would class as like this edge for you. You have the edge when it comes to sales and getting deals over the line. Yeah. And that's just from me hearing it secondhand from Nick. But even as an example, Nick sent me a picture of a screenshot of a message that you sent him, which was a picture of you hopping in the car to drive down to Sunderland to close a deal.
Yes.
Like, run me through that thought process. Just
well, it's based on committing to the numbers. Can I do the numbers that I've committed to? It's like what I was talking about the kitchens earlier on. I've said to him, I think we can get, say Nick's business had 20 odd clients and it's moving in the right direction. But when I'm starting, I'm like, right, there's an opportunity to really go for this year. We need to get to 50 clients by the end of May, I think is realistic, but pushing it a bit. To do that, we need X amount a month. I spoke to the guy on the phone, the boy from the bathroom company. Everything's based online, obviously. Yeah. Some people need face-to-face. Not everybody, but some people do. Spoke to the guy on the phone. We're going to see somebody in Newcastle the following week, but I thought I can go and see him earlier. I can nip over to Sunderland, and I know if I'm sitting in front of him, it's a deal. There's no negotiations on it. I just know it. I could feel it in there. It's just like, I just know. But it was a bit like, you could tell the guy didn't like a Zoom call. He hardly uses his emails. You get my email? Email. You can just tell he never used an email in his life. He likes WhatsApp, he likes Instagram. So I thought, if I get in front of him, he's buying off me. Yeah. That's it. But
so many people would just stop at that point though and just not be driving down to fucking Sunderland or getting
but I've committed to the numbers.
Yeah.
That's it. And Stacey supports me. If she supports me, like lets me do it. But I've got kids and I've got things to I've got responsibilities, so I need somebody there by my side to make sure everything else is taken care of. But I'm like let's just go for it. Rocked up, got Ami's business partner in front of me, done it and sold it, and that was it. So, but I don't know, mate. I just think it's when you commit to something, I take, as much as I jump about and have a laugh, I analyse things first.
Yeah.
And when I give it the green light, that's it. You have to go for it. There's no negotiations. I always hit the numbers. Nobody's stopping it. Because sales is easy. There's an abundance of people out there. If you've got a decent product, there's unlimited people. As long as you know your ratios, why can you not do it?
Yeah.
You just keep doing it. But the only reason you can't do it is if I lied to myself and went, I sell it 80%, mate. I'll get to 100, no problem. Just be real with yourself. That's my current number. That's my current run rate. And I like to be jolly as well. I got an overnight stay out of him. I was like, Nick, I need to stay. Well, actually, what happened, right? I'm flying down, going down to Sunderland. I left on the Monday night because I put the kids to bed and that, done stuff. I think I left at like 9 o'clock at night. Drove down to Sunderland, Newcastle, Sunderland, stayed overnight. And then I seen this big sign up, Tyne-Weir toll booth. Toll. I was like, fuck's that? There's loads of cars everywhere. Fuck it, just drive through that. Drove back through to Sunderland the next day, drove back through to Newcastle the next day, and I signed up this client. I'm like, yes, woo! And then yesterday I get 3 notifications, 3 letters through my door. £60 fine, £60 fine, £60 fine. I was like, Nick, that's going through his expenses, mate. Because I went through this toll bridge thing in Sunderland or Newcastle. Yeah. I've just been driving by like, whoa! Don't even know how to pay for it. But I'll part of the journey into it.
Fuck, that is class, bro.
Part of the fun.
Well, it's been fucking amazing having you on, brother. Honestly, this
Thanks,
hour and a half
really enjoyed it.
Flew in. I know you and Nick are kind of planning on doing some more content and stuff like that moving forward. Is that just going to be on WeScale Trades? Or is it
we're going to do, I think the plan is because things are moving fast, we're recruiting, and after that we're going to be doing some personal brand stuff, and hopefully I'll be doing some more actually getting involved in sales coaching content and putting things out there, because I don't really stop doing stuff, to be honest. When I was doing all my fitness stuff, I was on socials all the time making all sorts of mad random stuff up, and I've just sort of like reverted back to not doing anything.
Yeah.
Because I've got a business, I'm like, I've got a business, I better be quiet. Yeah. Now I'm like, nah, not anymore, mate. So
love that, bro. Where can they find you if they want to find your content?
I don't have a clue yet. I don't know, mate. I don't actually know.
Graeme Ashton on Instagram.
Graeme Ashton Instagram. I'll be just fucking nonsense, mate. I'm on LinkedIn, but hardly use it. Just follow me in that. We'll catch up whenever. People will see me somewhere.
Yeah.
The next 6 months are going to be good.
Love it, bro. Love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on, bro. Honestly, fucking class. Trips. If you're on Spotify, leave a review. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Thought of obviously Graeme's partner put him on a pretty big pedestal at the start, but obviously amazing fucking episode, mate. Unraveled so much good value, so much good sauce, and I valued the transparency and authenticity, mate, which is fucking class. So Trips, if you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. We've got episodes coming out weekly, and same on Spotify. Make sure you're following as well. And as always, Trips, have an amazing day.